8, 9, 10. Hope everybody is staying dry and is warm and not too cold. Everybody good. Perfect.
You guys ready out? All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Everybody ready? Well, good afternoon. Welcome to the Emergency Operations Center. We have several folks here today that are going to give an update overnight, just what's happened in terms of the recovery from the severe weather that we had earlier this week. And most importantly, we're going to focus on what's going on now, what's expected over the days ahead, and what you can do to remain safe. We are expecting this extreme weather event to continue. This is incredibly serious. We want everyone to be safe. We are very fortunate that we have no storm-related injuries or deaths so far, and we want that to remain the case throughout the entire weekend as the severe weather continues. And so we're very appreciative for people to continue to heed the warnings from the professionals that you're going to hear from today. I'll give an overview of what we're dealing with now. You'll hear from Tony Parrott, the Executive Director of MSD, Jody Myman, Executive Director of our Emergency Management Agency, and Major Arnold Rivera from Louisville Metro Police Department. In terms of just the damage that was suffered as a result of the likely tornadoes that hit the J-Town and Middletown area earlier this week, the damage assessment teams are wrapping up their work today. We're very thankful that we had 40 volunteers from the J-Town area that joined our emergency management crews to help track and tally all of the damage that hit J-Town and Middletown earlier this week. We continue to work closely with the city of J-Town and the city of Middletown in those recovery efforts. And again, if you sustain damage as a result of that, please call 311 so that we're sure we have that information. What we're dealing with right now in terms of the rains that have continued since those severe winds earlier this week, we are dealing with some flooding issues already in the city. Over the past 24 hours, the Louisville Fire Department has sent 4 operations out to rescue individuals that have been stranded, including one true water rescue last night on Oak Street. You can see right here to my left, that's a picture that was taken earlier this morning on Frankfort Avenue. That's somebody that did not heed the warnings, that drove through clearly standing water. We are here to advise everyone, do not do what this individual did this morning. If you're driving over the coming days, today, tomorrow, Sunday, and you see water in the roadway, turn around. This is incredibly serious. You do not want your car to be stuck, but even worse, you do not want to be injured. You do not want to risk your life. Please turn around if you see any standing water, and we'll get more to that as we come up. In terms of the forecast, the reason that we are calling this such an extreme weather event is because, notwithstanding all the rain that we have already had, we're expecting another 4 to 6 inches of rain over the next 48 hours. That is a significant amount of rainfall at any time, particularly on top of all the rain that the city has already received over the last few days. There is a slight risk for severe weather and winds over the coming days, but the biggest issues that we're focused on right now are mostly all related to rain, with the heaviest rain expected all day tomorrow on Saturday, and then we're expecting the rain to stop on Sunday. So what this means is there are several types of flooding that the city is at risk of. One is certainly flash flooding, where things can be moving quickly because of the tremendous amount of rain that we will be getting, and also creek beds all across the county, low-lying areas. That is where we're going to see a significant amount of flooding. And even if the rain stops, the water will continue to rise after the rain has stopped. So please continue to use caution during breaks in the weather, as well as on Sunday when we expect the rain to end. It still may continue to rise. Another big issue for flooding is going to be the Ohio River. So we have a lot more information today than we did yesterday about the Ohio River. And we expect, as of right now, you can see it's online, there's a chart that shows the Ohio River crest. It's expected to crest right now on Wednesday at 35.5 feet in the upper pool. Let me translate what that means. The upper pool is the area of the Ohio River on the downtown side of the McAlpin Locks. Normal stage is about 12 feet. So this is going to be 23 feet above what's normal in the downtown and northeast of downtown area, 23 feet above normal for the Ohio River. So just think of that. Add over 2 stories of your home of water to where the Ohio River normally is, and that's what we're expecting to happen between now and Wednesday when it crests. That is going to be very significant flooding. This may be one of the top 10 floods in recorded history in Louisville if it reaches there, and particularly if it goes above that 35.5-foot flood stage. So again, this is very severe and significant flooding event. In the lower pool, which is the Ohio River south and west of the McAlpin Lock, so the West Louisville and Southwest Louisville and the banks of the Ohio River there, that's expected to crest at 68 feet. That is much, much, much higher than is normal in the lower pool of the Ohio River. So again, there is significant flooding risk also in west and southwest Louisville. In terms of what we're doing to prepare the community and to ensure that people stay safe, barricades have already gone up on some of these areas. The 3rd Street ramp off of the highway downtown will close at some point in time here as flood waters continue to rise on River Road at 3rd Street. Our public works team is working right now, as is MSD, LMPD, the fire department. Everybody is working in real time. So barricades will go up quickly, and there will not be any type of initial pre-notification. When barricades need to go up for people's safety, we're going to put them up. We are tracking all of the streets that are closed on our website, where you can find a list, and that will continue to be updated throughout the weekend. You'll hear from Major Rivera more on this in a moment, but I want to stress, please do not move any barricades. The barricades are there to protect people's safety, to protect people's lives. Do not move any barricades, and also do not drive around any barricades. Driving around barricades is a violation of the law. If LMPD officers see you, they could issue citations for that. If you see areas where there's water and there are no barricades, please call 311 as well and let us know. We have a lot of people working through the weekend that are going to be working to identify every area where there is risk. But if you see something that has not yet been attended to, please call 311. Our Metro Safe 311 team will be working through the weekend to take all of those calls. And please be a particular caution in the evenings. On the evenings, it's even more difficult to see water, to see dangerous conditions. And so please, if you're out and about driving, use extra caution in the evening. But that's really our request, is that everyone just take a little extra time to be safe. Don't do anything stupid. Don't drive through water like this resident did earlier today. Just continue to heed these warnings, and we'll get through this together and safe. But we're going to take some questions at the end. But first, again, there are 3 other folks that are going to speak and talk about a little of the preparation work and what's going on right now. I'm going to first turn it over to Tony Parrott, the Executive Director of MSD.
Thank you, Mayor Greenberg. And as the mayor said, this is an extreme weather event, something that we don't see very normal around here. And so obviously it's going to be very impactful for not only the community, but for the operations, particularly at MSD, with the operation of our wastewater facilities and all of the sewers within our city, whether it be in the downtown area where we have the combined sewer system, and then outside the 264 where we have mostly a sanitary sewer system. Due to the heavy rain events, we are now seeing that our systems are at capacity, particularly in our sanitary systems. Our stormwater basins and our stormwater tunnels are filling up. So as those systems fill up, obviously it's going to limit the amount of water that can get into the system. And so we need help from the community as they are going through their day-to-day and they're thinking about how they're using water in their particular homes or businesses. Be mindful of the fact that we have limited capacity in our sanitary system. And so obviously, if there's any backups, we're getting a lot of calls about backups because of that. If folks are having backups in their properties, we encourage them to contact MSD at 540-6000. That's 540-6000. If we do not respond within, say, 24 hours, it's because we're getting inundated with a lot of calls. And so we will respond based upon our call-in list, and our staff is working 24/7 to respond to address complaints as they come in. We're also asking folks to be patient, because during this rain event and as the rain subsides over the next couple of days, we will be able to do a better assessment of what may be an issue or may be a problem within the public sanitary system in the road, or something within a private property sewer or a private property drainage issue. We have installed 5 flood wall roadway closures since yesterday, and that is to protect the city from the Ohio River rising. As the mayor mentioned, we know there's going to be impacts, particularly with the 3rd Street ramp off of 64 closing, probably later on tonight or early morning, and River Road being inundated with flooding in the downtown area. That is something that is going to continue to be a problem. We have scheduled our shifts to work 24 hours a day, 12-hour shifts through this event, and to make sure that we are being responsive and we are protecting the city from, and the downtown from the Ohio River. Again, if folks are having problems or if they see a problem, they can contact us at 540-6000. And as the mayor mentioned, if there is a barricade up, particularly in an area where you may have a viaduct that may be flooded, please do not drive through a viaduct. It is a life-threatening scenario, and we encourage folks to respect the barricades and do not drive through water. This is a rain event that is unlike, as the mayor mentioned, probably in the top 10 as far as a flood event, and so we need to take it very seriously because it is something that real quickly can threaten someone's lives, and so we want people to be cognizant of that, and again, be patient, but just know that we're here and we're responding as we get calls as they come in. So with that, Mr. Mayor, I'll turn it over to Jody.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Jody Myman, Executive Director for Louisville Jefferson County Emergency Management. Just a couple things. Like the mayor said earlier today, we completed all of our evaluations and assessments throughout the J-Town and Middletown area. We were gracious because of the volunteers that showed up, and it was the volunteers and the emergency management personnel that conducted all those assessments out there, and that's the normal process. I know there was some misconception that FEMA was in town already, and that's not the process. It's never been the process. We always do it on a local level. They put it in the system to go to the state level, and then that's in there to take a look and evaluate the potential for any kind of assistance later that may come. So we're very gracious for the people that came out and helped us out there today, because we were able to get it done very, very quickly. I know there's been some concerns as well about our dams in our city parks. We've been working with Parks and Recreation, and they've done a good job going out and evaluating the dams that are in our parks and the lakes that are in our parks, and evaluating them on a daily basis, sometimes a couple times a day, especially our high hazard dams, to make sure that there's not any problems with that. And they've already got a contractor scheduled to come in post storm and post event to take a look and do an evaluation to see if there was anything affected with that. And then the biggest thing, like you're going to hear over and over again, is prepare now. You know, if you live in a flood-prone area, we've tasked our public safety workers to go out and look in their jurisdictions at flood-prone areas, see how they are now, and evaluate them throughout the day today, and then so we can put resources and allocate resources to these places, you know, throughout the weekend in case we have some problems. But plan today. You know, we don't want anybody to wait too late to try to get out of an area. One, we don't want to have to come and get you with a boat, and two, we don't want you to try to get out at the last minute and get caught in floodwaters. You know, that's not a good situation at all. So, you know, please plan today on what you could potentially have to do if you have to get out because of flooded roads, flooded yards. You know, you've got creeks that come out of their beds. You know, and know where you're going to go. You know where you can. You know, family and friends and. You know, we have places that are established. They're not established. They're not opened yet, but we have places that we can open up in the case we have to set up shelters. We've got mass transit that we can establish if we have to do that with our ESF1 partners. So, like I said, if it comes to that, we have that established and we can set that up. So, you know, plan today. This is a serious event. we don't want anybody to get hurt. And also remember, when the rain stops, it doesn't mean the danger's over. Make sure that, you're still watching the water, because it's got to go somewhere, and the water could continue to rise even throughout your house, in the days to come afterwards. So, stay safe, listen to the alerts, sign up for Lens Alert, and, know what's going on with your surroundings. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Major Arnold Rivera with the Louisville Metro Police Department Special Operations Division. Just kind of want to reemphasize what the mayor and Director Myman have repeatedly stated. When barricades are put in place, those are traffic control devices. Those are there to prevent the needless loss of life. It is one thing to accidentally wander into water. It is another thing to make a conscious decision and deliberately disregard a traffic control device, putting yourself in danger, any of your passengers in danger, and any first responders. That is a violation of the traffic law, and we have directed our folks to handle that accordingly. We are prepared to respond as necessary to assist all of our agency partners with any of the flood emergencies that happen. But please, if it is not necessary for you to travel, heed the warnings and do not do so. If you do, have a plan and make sure that you're paying attention to the roadways and the conditions as you travel there. Do not take unnecessary risks and put other first responders' lives in danger, or your family or friends that are traveling with you needlessly.
Thank you very much, Major Rivera. Thank you, Director Myman, and Mr. Parrott as well. To sum up, just a few final things. In addition to Louisville Fire Department being on scene here in Louisville, they also have deployed a swift water rescue team to Casey County and Liberty, Kentucky, to assist them with their emergency response efforts. Their team there is on standby with the Liberty Fire Department. This will not impact the fire department's ability to serve our community as well. But again, we want to be good neighbors and partners with other folks throughout the entire Commonwealth of Kentucky that are dealing with severe weather and responses. Throughout the weekend, you can continue to follow along on all of our social media channels to stay up to date. We'll continue to keep the community updated. And also, I'm sure there will be a question about Thunder over Louisville, which is planned for a week from tomorrow. We are in constant contact with Matt Gibson and his team at the Kentucky Derby Festival. We're all focused on getting through this weekend safely. We're monitoring all the things that go into pulling off Thunder over Louisville a week from Saturday. And so we'll have more to say about that depending on what actualizes with the weather, with the flooding, with lots of different variables on Monday. But we will remain in touch with the Kentucky Derby Festival. So again, to sum up before we take questions, if the projections hold, we expect that this will be one of the 10 largest flood events in Louisville, Kentucky's history. That is extreme weather. That may create dangerous situations. So please listen to these warnings, be cautious this weekend, and stay safe. And with that, we're happy to answer any questions. Yes.
So how do we, when we're anticipating this flooding, how do we compare it to past floods in the past? Like, I think I saw somewhere that the gates were closing for the first time since 2018. Do we compare it to 2018? Do we compare it to 1933? Just to give people an understanding of how bad it would be.
So a few comparisons, and Jody or Tony might have some others, but for example, in February, there was flooding along River Road and downtown as a result of the Ohio River coming up in February of this year. We're expecting the crest of the Ohio River to be over 5 feet higher than what we saw just earlier this year in February. If these projections hold with the Ohio River, this will be at or above where we were in 2018 from downtown north, and it will be higher for the lower pool, which is the west and southwest portions of the city. It will be higher than that compared to the 2018 flood. Okay. Yes?
Mayor
For the people that you're encouraging to call 311 to report damage, is there a certain threshold of damage they should see to report that? I mean, because it's a wide range of what people sustain.
Well, the two areas that we want people to call 311 for, one is if you sustain damage from in J-Town or Middletown earlier this week as a result of the likely tornado that was in our community. We want to keep a list of all of that damage. So that's one. And the other main category that we want folks to reach out to us on is if they see a road that has water or there's a dangerous condition, if a tree has fallen in a road, if there's some dangerous condition that they spot that has not yet been attended to with barricades or yellow tape to mark it, we want people to call us so we can get first responders out there right away to deal with that risk.
Can you talk a little bit about, you guys pushed out to asking people to limit their water use, washers, dryers, washers, and things like that. If you could just touch on that, please.
Yeah, primarily in areas that are on our sanitary sewer system, which is primarily most of the areas outside of the Waterson. Those systems are at capacity, and so as people are going through their normal daily usages as far as washing and those type of things, as the mayor says, you can still flush. But we're asking folks to kind of minimize their water usage because those systems are at capacity. And hopefully over the next 48 hours, as the rain subsides, we will be able to retain some of the capacity in those systems. But what it does is it just reserves as much capacity in the system, the less water people can use, so that we don't have backups into businesses and homes, or we don't have sanitary sewers or pump stations that are overflowing to the environment.
If you could talk a little bit about the water rescue on Oak Street that the mayor mentioned, how that went, what the situation was.
So that came in at 9th and Oak Street at about 11 o'clock last night. And this was one, there were not barricades up at the time, but this is what you really have to think about when you're going under a viaduct, especially to be extremely cautious at night, because I have no doubt this person did not, like, irresponsibly just decide she was going to drive through the water. She didn't realize. And as you're coming on, you might not, it makes it seem as if you're going over a flat road, especially in low light. It just appears like it's part of the road. And so she ended up driving just straight into the water. It incapacitated the car. She was fine, her family was fine, but they were stuck. So we were able to deploy just a small boat to get to her and the family and get them out of there. So there wasn't no injuries or anything like that, but it really just exemplifies the danger, especially if it's dark. I'm going to echo what Abel said. If you don't have to get out and go anywhere, don't.
Is there anyone that you're asking to evacuate now or to just be aware, like to have bags packed and ready?
The question was about, is there anyone that we're asking to evacuate right now? The answer is no. There are no planned evacuations at this point in time. If folks know that they live in low-lying areas and they've experienced flooding in the past, it's reasonable to expect that there'll be similar or worse flooding over the coming days here. But we do not have any evacuations planned at this point.
Do we anticipate mass rescues possibly from this flood?
The question was, do we anticipate mass rescues? We hope not. If everyone listens to the warnings and uses caution, we're hopeful that all of our first responders with LMPD, with the fire department, that they can continue to do what they like to focus on, and that they're not necessary, but we're prepared if necessary. Any other questions? All right, well, we will all continue to keep everyone updated. Please continue to check for road closures and any other information we'll continue to get out on our website and through all of our social media channels. And again, please, everyone throughout the city, please continue to use caution and be safe this weekend. Thank you all very much.